This time on Street Rat Garage, I am here to tell you a little something about the vehicle that Cletus Mcfarland, aka Garrett Mitchell, recently purchased from eBay, the Turbanero, and tell you a little bit about the guy that built it. Okay, so we are here, and this is the house that Troy built. So before I tell you a little bit about the Turbanero, this is where it was built. This little two-story house, which Troy pretty much designed and built by hand himself. Not the whole house, he renovated the house, put the second story on, built this garage right here where the Turbanero was born. So that little garage right there, it's got a lift in it, and it's got, well, had a lift in it. I don't know if it's still there, but a fully functional machine shop with Briggsport, machine lathes, car lift, everything that you would need to build such a crazy thing. But this is where he lived. The house is now up for sale, so it's kind of sad. I haven't been back here since, but it's empty. There's nothing there anymore. But this is where it was built. But Troy owned a business. He was a pool specialist. He installed swimming pools. He maintained swimming pools and covers and all the plumbing, all the electrical, anything to do with having a swimming pool, he covered. He was the pool guy. He was the owner of Palisades Pools here in Indianapolis, and he had a pretty vast clientele, and all his customers really liked him, and he didn't advertise at all. Everything was word of mouth, and he built up quite the following in the pool business. So that's pretty much what gave him the ability to build the crazy things that he did. So the Turbanero, the whole idea of the Turbanero started approximately about 8-9 years ago. Troy was helping out assembling some turbines and getting them rebuilt and ready to be sold off into other projects or whatever somebody needed a turbo or turbine for. So he was able to get a hold of one of these turbines and immediately came up with the idea of putting it in a race car, not a race car, but some sort of vehicle. he was inspired by Jay Leno. We all know Jay Leno has that super high-tech, high-dollar, multi-million MIT people-built car that he has. And well, Troy wanted to build one, but on a working man's budget. So Jay Leno probably has, I don't know, millions of dollars into the one that he built. Troy has, I don't know, $100,000, maybe $150,000 into the one he built. So it's not exactly working man, but it's obtainable. I mean, if you can buy like a Dodge Demon, you can build yourself a turbine car. But he built it, so the labor alone to build that car was probably another $100,000. So yeah, then it starts to get out of the realm of possibilities maybe, but he wanted to do it. He could have done it a lot cheaper, but like everything that Troy does, it's overboard by a lot. So the car that you see now, the I think it was a 2014, I can't remember, 2012 or 2014, somewhere in there, Camaro, was not the original car that turbine engine was installed into. It was actually installed into the later generation, what is that? Is that the F-body? The slanted Coke bottle design. I think it was a 93 Z28 Camaro that had a 350 automatic transmission, and it was red. So that was the original car. I was here to help him install that engine into the car, but there was some fitment issues with that particular chassis. There was some cutting of the firewall, the floor pans, all that other stuff. It just sat too high as well. There was ground clearance issues. So that whole car, after being cut up, taken apart, was reassembled, 350 put back in it, automatic transmission. It was repainted and sold off to a friend of mine. I think it's in Arizona now, but that was the original car. So Troy needed something was a little more bulky, a little bigger. So he went with the 5th gen Camaro, and that Camaro was originally a white V6 manual transmission car. So he paid either $12,000 or $12,500 for that car. Immediately took the engine and transmission out. I listed it on it might have been Craigslist back then. sold the engine and transmission for him, and he started building that vehicle. And well, things got out of hand rapidly. He is very detailed, very, very fine print oriented. Bottom details, every nut, every screw, every little nut and bolt was taken, replaced with something better, nicer, shinier. Everything was painted. The whole turbine engine was disassembled. The casing was taken apart, clean. Things were polished, things were painted and reassembled. So it was about 7, 8, 9 years from the thought of that car till its completion. Now, the thing about that car is it's not done. It was still in the testing phases, and there was a problem with the car that her turbine had to be disassembled. Troy told me that he accidentally overheated that turbine, and some of the blades that are inside of it came loose. So he was in the process of taking that turbine wheel out and replacing it and putting everything back together when he fell ill. So the car that you see now it's not finished. We don't know if the fuel mixture is correct, and there is the possibility that the engine could be damaged if it's ran longer. So unfortunately, I don't think Garrett knows any of that information. So that's why there was some fuel lines and some electronics that were taken apart on that car and hadn't been put back together, because he was in the process of doing all of that when, you know, tragedy struck, unfortunately. But the Turbanero, far from the only vehicle that Troy ever built. He built a list of crazy cars. Lamborghini, he built it was a kit Lamborghini, but it was a Lamborghini. It was all decked out. He built, in the early days, he built this Beretta that he converted over to rear wheel drive, and, you know, big engine, you know, back in the 80s and 90s. I don't even know the list of cars, and I haven't even seen all of them. But recently, he had a Grand National. Actually, he cloned a Type T into a GNX that was very, very well done. I mean, it was immaculate, and it is out there in somebody's garage right now, and they are enjoying the car. He built a Indy 500 style track car, so that had this amazing stereo system in, paint. It was also all decked out. It was had been converted. It didn't come with the engine, but he converted a Honda Goldwing engine to run that Indy car, V6 model Goldwing. So that's also out there somewhere, and I don't know. Now, the Indy car that he built for fun, of course, but he wanted to do events. We have just down the street from his house, the Indy 500, as you can hear in the background. They're testing and tuning today, and he wanted to do events here. They have cars and coffee events here all the time, and the plan with that car was, you know, drive it from his house to the track here and show it off. So the track's only about 5 miles down the street, and you can actually hear these cars at his house. So I'm sure that was some inspiration for him to get that one built, but it's also an amazing vehicle, which I don't know where it's at right now. As you can tell, Troy surrounded himself by everything automotive related. Automotive, planes, trains, all that stuff. Anything that had an internal combustion engine, he was into, or an electric motor. He was an avid helicopter collector as well. The room that he built onto the back of his house, his bonus room, was filled with helicopters. Very, very expensive, well-built helicopters. And that was another one of his hobbies. He was actually not a fan of flying. He didn't like to fly, though he did from time to time. But he loved the thought of going up in planes and building replicas and helicopters and all that fun stuff. But that was one of his other things that he didn't quite get to. He did want to build his own helicopter. I don't know why anybody would want to do that, but it would have been amazing, and I would have loved to have seen that project come to fruition. And speaking of everything motor related, helicopters, airplanes, I forgot motorcycles. So one day about 6 years ago, he decides to go to the local Kawasaki dealership, purchase a brand new Ninja, I don't know, motorcycles, X11, whatever, I don't know. The fastest road bike at the time. So he immediately rides it home and disassembles it and puts a stretch kit, fat tire on it, and a turbo. So it had like 7 or 10 miles on it, just from his house, from the shop that he bought it from, to the house, and immediately came apart. It was amazing. And again, I don't have a picture of that too, because I always thought it would be there. I always went to see it and look at all the stuff he has, but never had the foresight to take pictures of it, because you think it'd just be there. But I am happy that Garrett Mitchell was able to purchase the Turbinero. He and Troy have quite a lot in common, really. I mean, they're both super crazy car guys, and that's pretty much all their life revolves around nothing but cars. I don't remember a conversation with Troy that didn't have something to do with cars in some shape, way, or form. And Troy watched Cleetus Mcfarland channel. Of course, he always had an opinion about how things could have been done differently, or better, or cleaner, or, you know, just the way Troy would have done it. But he had mad respect for everybody at the shop, Garrett, all the employees there, and he really enjoyed watching the channel. So I'm glad that the car went to him, and well, I'm glad he got a good deal on it. It definitely should have went a lot more, but if Garrett Mitchell wants a car, he's going to get a car. So it really doesn't matter if the car went for $15,000 or $50,000, whatever. He would have got it anyway. So that's not the important part. The important part is that he's putting it out there and doing what Troy wanted done. Troy wanted to show it to the world, and that's what he was on track for. His dream, his hope, what he really wanted to do, he wanted to be on Jay Leno's garage. That was the one thing that he really inspired to do with that particular car. He really admired Jay Leno and his car collection and the person that he is. So he didn't make it to Jay Leno, but pretty much the next best thing. But hopefully Jay one day sees a car from Cletus, and you know, at least has a look at it. Hopefully that's what we're hoping for one day. But I'm here at the cemetery, and I just wanted you to meet Troy Mann. June 1st, 1963 to April 21st, 2024. So this is his final resting place. And notice what's right here, the Indy car. His other passion was roller skating. He loved to roller skate, boogie skate all the time. Sideways to the next light. The Corvette man. Oh, you gotta love it. So he was known for the Corvette probably more than the Turbanero, because, well, it came, you know, about a decade before the Turbanero. So the Corvette, I cannot remember the year, 06, 07, something like that, Z06, which pretty much started life off as a base model Corvette and was modified in true Troy fashion to be a crazy, insane monster of a car. Absolutely everything was touched on that car. It was also like the Camaro, stripped apart. Every detail was done on it. Of course, it, you know, had the engine totally rebuilt and cam and heads, and I mean, just everything that you could possibly do on the inside. Had the supercharger on it. Actually, it was a Paxton, aftermarket Paxton put on that. Nitrous on it, stereo system in it, suede interior in it. It was crazy. 6-speed manual with a monster multi-disc clutch in it. It would give a run to just about anything production nowadays. I mean, Hellcats. I mean, it was built before Hellcats and Dark Horse Mustangs. It definitely whip up on anything like that. Oddly enough, he never took it to the track, and the nitrous was never sprayed on the car. He said he doesn't have anything to prove. He built the car because that's what he wanted to do. He went to car shows. He drove it on the street like a crazy man, but never took it to the track ever. That's the one thing you got to understand about Troy. Everything he did for himself. It wasn't to impress anybody. It was only because he liked it. He wanted it, he built it, and he enjoyed it. After he built a lot of cars, they sat in the garage, went to some car shows, and he would go out, work sometimes all night in the garage on the next project. Just build and build and build and build. He was in the process of building a LSA powered Astrovan, all-wheel drive. That one was only half done when he passed, unfortunately, and no idea what happened to that, but it was going to be insane as well. I'm pretty sure that one didn't survive because it was gutted. The LSA was in there, and frame was built for it, and that's about it. I don't think anybody could put that vehicle together but him, so I don't think we're going to see that one popping up anytime soon. But he did build a Denali, I think a 2009 Denali lifted truck that had a Magnuson, I think, supercharger underneath of it with 6.2 in it, rims jacked up in the air. That one was crazy as well. I should have taken pictures of all this stuff, but you know, people will reach out to me. They'll send me pictures. I'll post them on my Facebook, Instagram pages, and we'll see all those vehicles as well. But just to recap, Troy was a mad scientist, and he built some of the most amazing things. And again, he would be happy that Garrett Mitchell has the Turbanero. And I just hope that he does something great with it. And I hope that he goes through the car and makes sure all the systems are what they should be. That car is 100% analog. You can't plug a computer into it and do anything, because Troy was not a computer guy. He was many things, but a computer guy was not his thing. He wanted this to be just a everyday guy car. Go in there, turn the key, make sure that everything would click into place. All you had to do is turn the key and it would go. But analog. There's no computer anything on this. This is completely just manual, click on stuff. So it should be pretty easy to get this car back up and running. Just be sure to have somebody check the fuel air mixtures and make sure the engine doesn't destroy itself. The car has been on fire at least once that I know of, but it was just because of too much fuel going down into the exhaust and soaking the wrap that used to be on the heat wrap that used to be on the exhaust, that giant tube that he has on there. So yeah, and it has afterburners, it shoots fire, it does all that stuff, but never fully tested. The video that you may have seen with it starting up at a car show and a bunch of people going out and looking at it, and some smoke puffing out of it at the end. That was one of the longest trips that it ever made. It went, I think, around the block like one time, and that's about it. But that's footage that came from my channel, and I posted that on him. It was for him, and it was always a private link that was shared with, you know, a few of his friends. So that got leaked out there a little bit. But he never wanted anybody to see the car until he was done with it. Well, he wasn't quite done with it, and we know what happened. So it's out there now. This is one of the videos he wanted made just in case. So we're making the video, and we're hoping that Garrett Mitchell does the right thing and makes the car great. He's already got a really good start on it. So thanks a lot to Garrett Mitchell for spreading the word. Troy Mann, that's the mad scientist that built this car. And that is going to wrap it up for this episode of Street Rat Garage. Until next time.